Hi everybody, Sandy Bacus here. My channel name is Sandy B. Stitcher, and I am here to do an update on cross stitch and just a tiny life update and just to check in, let you know I'm still here. I hope everyone is well. I'm glad you're here. Welcome back to anybody who's returning, and welcome to any new people that have happened upon my channel. I do love comments, and I appreciate it if you're able to like the video, and also if you're not a subscriber, to subscribe. I'm going to start with the very short life update. Everything has been pretty calm around here, not like the last video when I talked about Bob falling off the tractor. I think I convinced him that we should sell the tractor, and his brother is interested in it. So it's at the tractor shop now, getting a good going over to see if anything was damaged when it tipped over. And then I am pretty sure that his brother is going to buy it. And that way we will get enough money out of it to pay it off and give his brother a good deal. And we have been switching over his doctors to VA doctors. Because he is considered 100% disabled through the Veterans Administration because of his Parkinson's. He can get care through the VA and all his medications and everything for free. And up to this point, we'd been using his insurance, and it was getting kind of costly. So now we've switched over and been making trips back and forth between Sheffield Village and Parma, where the two VA facilities are. And that's about it. I am doing okay. I, of course, continue with polymyalgia rheumatica, which causes me to be quite fatigued at times, and some pain. I am on prednisone, but I'm currently trying to taper, and that creates more aches and pains and fatigue. And my back is getting better. The only time that it really bothers me now is standing and walking, and that is it's just going to take time. So, and Miranda's still here and helping out a little bit. And other than that, status quo. It is a rainy day out today in the 50s. Yesterday, it was really nice. There was a little bit of sun. It was in the 70s. The day before, we had sunshine and 70s. But now the weather forecast is showing back into the 50s and the 60s. Springtime in Ohio. Northern Ohio. Anyways, I saw that down a little bit further south that they were having much warmer temperatures today than we were having. Because I am up near Lake Erie, and so we tend to be a little bit cooler up here. Okay, let's get to the stitching and show you what I've been doing. I am still involved with Magical Stitches, and I am still doing Wipgo, and falling a little bit behind on Wipgo because I'm trying to keep up with Magical Stitches, and depending on what I'm stitching on, sometimes I'm a little bit slower. And so I've got the items written down, and I'm going to try to sit back just a little bit because I'm leaning forward and it is, bothering my back just a little. So I'm going to sit back a little bit here, and you're going to get a lot of ceiling here. And I hope the lighting is okay. There's lighting on that side of the room, but when I turn those on, one of those lights is just to the left of my head, and it just are right behind my head, and it's really, really bright, and it kind of washes everything out here. So hopefully this will be okay. All right. One of the projects that I've worked on a lot is Japanese garden, and it is the one that my oldest whip, and it's the one that I'm doing the penalty stitches on for magical stitches. And I don't have the picture out right there, but I think you all, I've been showing this for so long that I think you all know what it looks like. And this is where I have got to on magical stitches on Japanese garden. And I'm going to try to hold it up here the best I can. Of course, my left arm I can't do too well with. But there we go. And I had finished, I think I told you I was trying to finish this page down here, and this page is finished. So this whole page is all done. And then I went, and these are light stitches up here, and I know they're probably a little bit harder to see, so I'll just try to hold that up there. I started working up there in the sky and then over into that other tree over there. So I think it was last week I worked on that all week because I needed to get 1,000 stitches in. Was it? Yeah. Not this past week. Oh, the date. I even looked it up so I would be sure and remember to tell you what the date is. It's Thursday, and it's April 29th. So here we are. Wow. We're already 4 months completed in 2021. It is just unbelievable. But I guess time flies. Okay, so that was Japanese garden. Another project that I have worked on is Pandemic. And I don't have a picture printed out of Pandemic. I keep saying that I'm going to get it printed out, and I've got this in the Q-Snap, and so I'm going to leave it there, not take the time to pull it out. But I made it all the way across. This is the far right side. And so I think you can see that. So I've kind of gone all the way across the top there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start working down here and then start going across again until I get over to this side. And that's how I'm going to work this, is just to keep back and forth and just do what I can when I can. A lot of material here to, and I've got floss here. I don't know what that's from. Okay, let me set that over here. Okay, let's see. Next, I worked on Frederick the Literate, and Frederick the Literate is, I don't think I have the picture out here. I've got stuff everywhere, but I'll show you where I've got on this. This is a Wipgo project that has been called, and I also used it for some something in magical stitches. Try to get this up here a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. It really doesn't look like I've gotten a whole lot of progress on that, but I did work a lot over on this, the back end of the cat over here. And so I'm just going to keep plugging away. My on a lot of my projects for Wipgo, I had put down that I was going to do 1,000 stitches on them. And let me see, I have my, yeah, Frederick the Literate, I have to do 1,000, and I'm not sure just exactly how many I've got into it so far. And let's see. Okay, another Wipgo that was called was Family Quaker. And, Okay, that one's over here. And I have this in a hoop. I've not been using hoops much. I've been using Q-snaps mostly, but this was a smaller piece of material, and this is a piece of material that was gifted to me by Kathy, Crafty Cat Stitcher, and it was a very generous gift. I was looking for, like, maybe somebody had some little offcuts of some 30 count so that I could try and see if I could stitch on it. And she sent me this whole piece. And it is linen, and I have it written down over there, Norden. I know it's 30 count, I know it's linen, and I think one of the words in it is Norden. But it's just a wonderful, it's soft material, and I can stitch on it. It's very slow going because I am having a lot of trouble with blurred vision, and I'm not sure whether all of the problems are from my cataracts or if it's from the prednisone. The PMR, all of those things can cause the blurry vision, but I don't tend to have too much blurred vision when I'm working up close with the magnifier. Generally, it's longer, far away vision that I have the blurry. So anyways, here is, I didn't show you the picture. Oh, it's kind of blowing out there. Let's see if we can turn it a little. Well, I think that's the best I'm going to get. It's Family Quaker. And I got this from Etsy. It's designed by Irina Weber, Veber, from Verbena Designs. And this is where I have, oh boy, that's blowing out. I don't know. Can you see it? Those colors are so pretty. I'm trying to get it to where you can see it. I hope you can. Of course, the way I have to hold things doesn't help much either. But this is really nice, and I did change something. I had been working on this, and I was doing it 1/1 because it's 30 count, and I had done across the top, and I'd done this and this and down this side. Then when I picked it up, I did this right here and this up here, and for some reason I forgot that I was doing it 1/1, and I put those in 2/2, not 2/1, and I started realizing that this wasn't stitching the way it had been prior to that. But I decided that when I was halfway through this, I realized that I was doing 2/1, and the rest of this had been 1/. So I decided to leave these two. I don't want to pull stitches out on 30 count linen. So I'm going to leave those two, and I'm going to go back to the 1/1. And I really don't, other than being just a little bit darker, I really don't think there's much difference there. So I'm going to just continue on. It's like everybody says, it's my project, and I can do it or change it or, however I want to. Okay, next. Let's see. Free Kittens. Free Kittens was a project that was gifted to me. With the chart and the fabric and the floss. And it is a lovely chart. It is by Imaginating. Yep. And then after I worked on this, Susie had originally gifted me this project, and then later on, Lisa was working on this project, and she finished hers, I think, or got really close to finishing it. And then she saw another chart from Imaginating that's very similar, and she's gifted that to me. So I have another one to work on too. And this is one I was working on for Magical Stitches. I needed to work on an angel, so this kitty angel, her wings are completed in there, but they're not all backstitched, so I don't know if you can see her wings. But I worked on that, and I was pretty much working down this side, and you can actually see I finally got one of the kitties in there. So this is a really fun one to work on. Okay, now one more whip, and this I've been working on this week, and this is for Magical Stitches, and this is Paris Market, and the task was to stitch on something that had a place where you would want to have a party. And I said, I would like to have a party on this street in Paris. With all those flowers and everything, I think I'd enjoy having a party there. And so I needed to put 1,000 stitches into that. And I have less than 100 to do to get my 1,000. And the task ran a shorter time this week. We have to have that completed by Friday night instead of Sunday night. So I'm right on schedule to get that going. And I think that when I finish these 100, then I am going to go back to Family Quaker and see if I can get my Wipgo goal done on that. Okay, and here is Paris Market, and I had only just started this. Oh, I hope that's showing up. It looks kind of really blown out by the light above me here, but I've moved down into the family room, and Bob is up in the living room so that he can be on the same level with the bathroom, and because he needs to use his walker, and I don't want him going up and down steps constantly. But anyways, there it is, lots of tree, and I've got quite a bit more tree to go. If you look at that, blowing out, that top corner up there. So I've got quite a bit of tree to go before I get over into the buildings. So this hasn't been called for Wipgo yet. And so when it's called, or if it comes up for another Magical Stitches project, then I'll be back on it. But this is a joy to stitch so far. I'm just really loving it. So let's put that over here. And that completes my stitching for the last 2 weeks. And I think it's just about 2 weeks. I think my last video, I looked it up, I think was the 14th. And today is the 29th, so it's just about 2 weeks. I have some honey cinnamon spice tea here. Very, very tasty. And now the only other thing that I have for you guys today is to tell you about a couple of books that I read. And this one here is by Sandra Brown. She writes mysteries, and it's called Thick as Thieves. And this was a library book, and it is considered a new book. And I really enjoyed this. It had to do with a girl who goes back to her family home after having been away from there for a long, long time, and the things that happen and that did happen back when she was a child, when she lived there. And it's a really good mystery. I enjoyed reading it. I don't want to, say too much more about it. So I would recommend it as a mystery. And this other book that I read, this is actually my granddaughter's book. She works at BAM, which is an acronym for Books A Million. And she spends, I swear, 90% of her paycheck on books. And she has a ton of books. And she had this one sitting one day, and I looked at it, and I read the synopsis in the cover, and I went, oh, this is not my usual kind of book, but maybe I'll go out of my regular comfort reading zone and check this out. So I did. And this book is called The Invisible Life of Addie Larue, and it's by V.E. Schwab. And I guess V.E. Schwab is a very popular author for the younger generations, and I loved this book. I really did. It goes back and forth between the 1700s and in current times, and it's about a girl who her family wants her to marry, and she doesn't really want to marry this guy, and she wants to do something else, but it's the 1700s, early 1700s, and she runs away from her wedding, and she prays for the gods to help her. And the thing that she had always been told is never pray to the gods that answer after dark. And she didn't realize that while she had her head down and she was praying, that it had gotten dark. And it is what comes to greet her and what happens to her after that. And I really, really enjoyed this book, and I didn't think that I would. So I may actually check into some other books by this author and check them out. I guess I never thought I would get into this this current thing of vampires and fantasy and just all of that is very, very popular right now. I just had kind of been ignoring all of that, and now I don't think I will. I think I'll maybe get into some of that. So that's all I have for you. I really, really recommend anybody to read that Invisible Life of Addie Larue. And I hope that you would enjoy it as much as I did. It definitely kept me reading. And sometimes lately, reading for me isn't really easy because of the blurriness. And I found that sometimes I have to take my magnifying light and shine it on the book, not necessarily put the magnifier over the book, but that LED light, and shine it on the book to make it easier for me to see. But I guess that's about it. So I want to, and did you notice the hair I decided that I asked Miranda, should I cover up my gray? And she said yes. So she picked out this hair color. I picked out the brand, which was John Frieda. That costs a little bit more in the store than like Nice and Easy and Clairol and that. But those colors don't seem to last very long. And so it's John Frieda. It's one of the blondes, and it was so easy to use and much easier than any of the other hair colors that I have used in the past. And it didn't cover all of my gray. That gray that's on the temples, that's still gray, but it's underneath, and it'll be fine. But it did help. My hair is very fine and very thin, and I've been losing a lot of hair from the prednisone, especially in the back here. And I was having a problem where in this back section here, where you always have that separation, that swirl or whatever you call that on your head, my hair would separate there, and you could just see the darker hair, and it just, because of being darker, it just was showing, because my scalp is very, very, very white looking. And I didn't like it at all. And it did help add a little bit of body to my hair. And then I checked into some biotin and collagen shampoo and conditioner. The shampoo that I'm currently using, and I would recommend to anybody, is, I think it's OGX. It comes in a smaller container, and it's kind of expensive. I was able to get it on sale at the grocery store for $5.50, so it's not your $2-3 shampoo, but I can really tell the difference. And also, I have a biotin and collagen conditioner by, I think it's Red Pure. It's another one that is a little more expensive than just your general shampoos and conditioners, but it is so worth it. With the two of those, I actually feel like I have a little bit of hair. Most of the time, my ears show through on the sides, and it's not really doing that, and it's definitely covering. I don't know if you can see back there, but it's definitely covering that spot back there. And it's still fine thin hair, but at least I feel like I have some because when it first started coming out, I mean, it was scary. And I see those hair toppers and everything advertised on Facebook, but the way I sweat with this, and I'm feeling it coming on now, with the PMR, I just sweat, and the whole back of my hair just gets wet. And if I'm riding in the car, my clothes are all wet in the back, my bottom is all wet, and it's just, it's ridiculous. And I'm thinking, and we aren't even into summer yet. So, wish me luck. So anyways, I started to end this a little bit ago, probably about 10 minutes ago, and I just kept talking. But anyways, I want to hope that send out wishes for everybody for health. I've had both my COVID shots back in March. And Bob had his, and hoping that we're still wearing our mask everywhere we go. Of course, I think it still is the mandate in Ohio that you have to wear the mask in stores and restaurants and everything. And we've been going out to eat once in a while. Not real often. A lot of times we'll just run up and grab some fast food and bring it home, or I will, because Bob can't drive anymore. But hoping you all are well and that your stitching is going well, I hope you enjoy my video and enjoyed seeing my stitching, and that you all come back and visit with me again. And I will see you the next time. And until then, love and hugs to everybody. Bye-bye.